Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Delta T Racing. When it's Thursday night, sorry, and it's a time for Division 2. See up there, I've just got Twitch up there for Johnny. I'm sure he'll be live, so if you wanted to jump onto his afterwards, please feel free. Right, let's jump right into that. So we are here, round number 8, and we're coming from Monaco. Never know what you're going to get in Monaco. Obviously, overtaking, as we know, in real life is very, very difficult. In the game, it's not much different. So pole position is going to be of paramount importance. Failing that, some kind of fantastic strategy. Obviously, the weather could play a part of it. We'll wait and see what weather we are given today. Right, let's jump on board. Who was the first one out? I think it's Stuart. So yeah, Stuart first one out, so we'd like to jump on board with them. As I say, round number 8 of the championship, so 7 rounds already complete. We're down to the final 5 of the season. Hummer currently leading the way with 113 points in the Red Bull, with Hammers close behind on 110 points. Stuart also finding a rich vein of form recently, 104 points, so only 9 points off the championship lead. Our winner last time out, Bogrovsky, 80 points, so currently 33 points behind the lead, but as we've seen before, leads can be eroded in next to no time. So let's jump on board with Stuart on his first flying lap, so he will be the first man to set a time, so he'll set the target. Closely followed, I think, by Rika and then Hammers, so we'll jump on board and see what's going on. Yellow flags are going to be common around here. People obviously trying to get out of the way as much as they can in qualifying. So Stuart now going around the Grand Hotel hairpin, as it is known, or Lowe's hairpin, under the bridge, down towards the Nouvelle chicane, through the tunnel, sorry, bridge. God, apologies, been a heavy week. It takes that corner well. You can cut that corner quite dramatically, to be honest, but if you get it wrong, obviously you'll get that corner validation, but if you get it right, you can gain so much time. So Stuart, obviously purple sector 2 being the lead car, will be setting the times, so coming round through Anthony Nodges onto the start-finish line now. We'll see what time he sets. So a 110.25. Hammers close behind, a 110.997, so 3/4 of a second further back. We've then got Kazingal coming across to post a 110.915, so popping into second place behind Hammers. Bog also with a 111.331. Rico with the slow time, I think he might have, but he has aborted that, so he'll be on a second run now. Let's jump on with Connor coming through the tunnel section and see what time he is about to post through the chicane. And it'll be left coming up, and just before the swimming pool section we'll get the timing, so we'll see where he is. 52.964. So not sure where that is relative to everybody else. Wazza 110.163. Wazza is very good on street circuits. He's either very quick or very out, shall we say. So Connor there posting the 5th fastest time. Who else have we got? Brother Adam coming round on the chicane with Skip running out lap. Honey Badger. So we haven't seen the Badger for a while. So welcome back into DTR Division 2. Obviously racing the Williams tonight as a reserve. So coming round the final couple of turns now on to the start finish line. We'll see what time Honey Badger can post. And a 111.414 up into 7th position. So who's that going through? So is Wazza going for a second run on those tyres? I didn't see him coming to the pits, so he may have done a quick stop when I wasn't looking, but I don't think he has. Tyres, no, he's already done those 2 laps on them, so Okay, we have an Alpine coming around. Stewart has invalidated. I assume he's going to abort and come into the pits, which he does. We then have, is it Bog coming round? So he's nearly 2/10 up on his time. 11.4, so it goes 3/10 up on his time, up into 7th place, but that's 1.3 seconds off of pole position. But points are awarded in the race, not for qualifying. Okay, Ferrari next of Johnny coming into the pits. Lacazette is in the pits, so I think everybody doing their first runs now, or has done their first runs now. Changing tyres, looking to go again. Brother Adam coming across 112.621. In 14th out of the 16th competitors. Skipper already out. I didn't see that. He's not playing his Joker tonight. A, because he's already played it, and B, because nobody is playing their Joker tonight. So Hammers is there. Where's Poop Cannon? He's a bit further back. Right, okay, so Hammers. We'll stick on board with him because I think Bog isn't going to be improving. In fact, he's invalidated anyway, so he'll be coming into the pits, put a fresh set of softs on and go for another run. But here we have Hammers. Oh, he's on his outlap. I didn't realise that. Who do we have behind? Poop Cannon's a bit further back. Who's in the other Red Bull tonight? Nobody. Of course, Hummer is in the other Red Bull. So nobody. He's leading the championship. I just couldn't see the icon down the left hand side. Right, who are we going to jump on board with? So Hummer is on a lap, so let's jump on, or stay on board with him as we head down towards the hairpin. So it's so slow through that hairpin, you honestly feel like you're just freewheeling and just waiting for someone to walk past you, but you still are going at a fair speed through the tunnel section. Now will be flat out, heading down towards the Nouvelle chicane, and invalidates there. So Hummer has invalidated. Hammers is on a lap, purple sector 2. And Wazza again, 109.8. I'm missing everybody getting quicker and quicker here. Let's stay with Hammers, see if he can get down. Okay, right, who is going to be next? Magic Poop Cannon into the pits. Then we have, is that a Williams? No. Oh, I wish they'd sort these blues out. I honestly can't tell the difference between them. I think it's Rika on an outlet, which it is, so he'll be coming in. We've then got one of the strikes, which is composite, and Skipper is already out. And then onto the Alpines. Right, okay, Stewart coming through. Connor invalidated, so we'll be going on his lap. Stewart into the pits. Right, so Connor is on a run. How's Johnny getting on? He is there. Hammers is out. Why is Hammers out? Okay, so Hammers is our second retirement in qualifying. Whether that was an accident, which again I have missed, or whether it was in the pit lane. Thinking he has done probably the best he can. Okay, so Bog on an outlap, Hummer on an outlap, very close to each other here. Actually, Bog is just going to lead the way. Johnny there popping up into 5th place with a 1:10.620. So we've got Hummer is on the outlap, yep, Bog's on the outlap, so Poot Cannon looks like he is aborting that lap, moving out of the way. Wazza on an outlap 109.882. Sorry Wazza, I've missed both of your laps today. Jack also at 109.941, did very well in Division 1 yesterday, so we'll be looking at carrying some fine form into the Division 2 race today. I think 39 laps it's going to be, so it's going to be quite a long race, and hopefully we'll see some excitement, but as I say, overtaking is so difficult here, so I'm not holding my breath. Okay, so lots of people on their outlap now. Wazza going purple in sector 1, but he's coming up on traffic. Who's that he's got ahead of him? Needs him to get out of the way going into the tunnel section, which he does really well there. So whoever that was in the Red Bull Racing, well done. It was obviously Cavolis, because Rika is in the pits. So Wazza now heading down towards the Nouvelle Chicane, the left, right, take as much curb as you can, staying within track limits. Round to the left, we'll see the split here. He's 2/10 up on his time, so if we look at a 109.6, maybe a bit more if he can eke some out of the final couple of turns up here. Goes in a little bit deep into that turn, but gets good drive off of the exit onto the start finish line, a 109.606, so 3/10 ahead. He has set the benchmark. Poot Cannon there with a 1:10.270, bolting up into 4th position. His teammate Hummers is on a lap round by the hairpin. Composite's going to be next to cross the line. Start the lap, I assume. Okay, so Honey Badger there jumping up into 8th position as well. Right, who's going to be next? Going to be one of the Ferraris. Is it the Katsis? It is. So he's slightly up on his time, but needs to find an awful lot more to get further up the grid. 11.392. Then we have the Mercedes, going to be a brother Adam. Okay, so where's Hummer? Hummer is into the pits. Poot Cannon is also coming into the pits. So we're down to 4 minutes left to race, or left of qualifying. So it really will be now strapping on a fresh set of tyres. Cats is just getting out of the way there. The Bog now coming round is going to come. Jack, I didn't notice that. 109.592 up at the top. Kazingle taking provisional pole position in the Aston Martin, 109.592. So not that far ahead of Wazza. These two seem to be by far and above quicker than the rest of the field at the moment. But I think Stewart will be on a lap. He'll be looking at trying to improve. Connor now into the pits. Let's just see Bog coming round. I didn't see his split, but hopefully he will improve on his 11.305. Get himself down into the high 10s. He'll jump up into the top 10. But he hasn't. Okay, let's see how Stewart is getting on. Stewart is 400ths of a, or 500ths of a second down on, I think on his time. I don't think that's on pole position time, so he needs to find an awful lot more over these last few, or over this last sector. Little clip of the wall there. Keeps it nice and tight through Anthony Nodges, through Las Cas. into the pits. So here we get a bolt in that lap as well. Hummer getting out of the way. Always good to see. Connor on a lap now, heading down towards the hairpin. There's a Ferrari ahead of him. I'm not sure who that is. That's Johnny, who is also on a lap. So we keep an eye on the pair of these, very closely matched, 3/10 between the two. Connor on the cusp of the top three, really. Johnny with a little bit more to find, but as I say, those top two who have now retired from qualifying are a long way ahead. Looks like Johnny picking up purple sector 2 was that. Here we go, on to the start finish line. We'll see what time he's going to post now. So 1:10.5, so 7th place for Johnny there. We've got the two Red Bulls on an out lap, so we'll keep an eye on them, certainly on Hummer's championship leader. Bog in the pits, brother Adam, how is he getting on? A bit further round. Rika. Is on this sector, so he's only 700ths of a second up on his time, so he needs a lot more than that if he's going to be threatening the top 10. Let's see what time he posts in anyway. So it's in 11.6, so a 2/10, nearly 3/10 improvement on his time. Is he on? He must be on an out lap because he's not using any ERS there, but it looks like Poot is on a lap, currently in fourth position, 2.5 tenths up on his time. Would be good enough to gain a position on Stewart, but not good enough to threaten the front two. And 109.935, so the third man into the 109s, but still 3/10 off of position 2. And nearly half a second off the pole position. So Hummer crosses the line and completes his qualifying. Okay, next is going to be one of the Red Bulls. Red Bull Racing, I think it's going to be Rika. Into the Raskas, he turns into the pits and aborts on that. The Catsis has him validated, so won't be making any improvement. How is Stewart getting on? Let's jump on with him as he comes through the chicane. We'll see what his time is. He has him validated as well, so Stewart will not get any higher than where he is. Connor just on the start finish line now. What time can Connor post? He's currently 4th and he remains 4th, even though his time said 1:07 there, and that was one hell of a lap if you did that. But and I think that is qualifying over and done with, which it is. So Kazingle, Jack taking pole position from Wazza, so those two 3/10 ahead of third place. Magic Poop Cannon, Connor in 4th, then we've got Stewart in 5th. 6th goes to championship leader Hummer, 7th J5 Gaming, 8th Honey Badger. So here we go, here's the official grid. We'll go through it quickly. So Kazingle taking pole position, 109.592. Wazza in 2nd, Magic Poop Cannon in 3rd, Connor in 4th. Then we have Stewart in 5th, Hummer in 6th, J5 Gaming in 7th. 8th goes to Honey Badger, Hammers in 9th, 10th Bogorovsky. So we've got the McLaren starting next to each other. 11th Kavolis, Lakatsis in 12th, Brother Adam in 13th, Rika 14th, Composite 15th, and Skipper will start the race from the back of the grid. So overtaking very difficult here. So we can see strategies. Got a couple of 5-place grid penalties there as well. One for Johnny and one for Brother Adam. Just looking at the chat, it looks like unfortunately they spun, got hit by someone else and got the pens. So, but we'll be back for the race shortly.
It's Monte Carlo with history, glamour and a uniquely tight and claustrophobic challenge. One that over the course of a lap sees us tour an entire country. Welcome along to the Monaco Grand Prix. We're on the French Riviera once more this weekend at the 2-mile-long Circuit de Monaco. The cars will climb around 40 metres up the hill, past the casino, and then descend towards the harbour through Sector 2. It's a very short run from pole position to the first of 19 corners. And don't expect to see much overtaking here today.
Well, welcome back everybody. We are ready to go. Started the formation lap, so drivers have chosen their setups to go into this 39 lap Monaco Grand Prix. Have a quick look to see what tyres everybody is on, and it's a selection of medium and hards. In the top 10, everybody going for mediums except Connor in 4th, Hummer in 6th. Then from 11th down to 16th we have the reverse, everybody on hards except Rika in 13th, starting on the medium tyres. So it'll be interesting for the McLaren boys, especially, both starting on the medium tyres. So they'll be looking at trying to stop a lap apart if possible. But obviously if there's an early safety car, they can jump onto the hard tyres and try and take those to the end. But Jack, apologies for missing your lap on the stream in qualifying, but a cracking lap to take pole position from Wazza. He also seems to have gone off pretty damn quick on the formation lap, and he's now going to sit on the start-finish line for what seems like an age, because Wazza is literally only approaching his grid slot now. So Buchanan 3rd, Connor 4th. I wonder what camera angle they're going to give us here. But anyway, at the back will be Composite. Once he settles into place, we will get the green flag waving at the back. The lights will start to come on. And when they go out, we will be go. Here we go. I think the lights... And it's lights out and away we go, even though I could not see them. It looks like we have some contact already a little bit further back, but a good start by Jack into turn 1. Everybody else seems to have got round without too much of an issue. Okay, let's jump back to the front. So Jack has taken command, taken that pole position into the lead in turn 1. We'll look at sprinting away as quick as he can, but obviously in the best position, has no overtakes to make whatsoever. A little bit behind, looks like Hammers has made a couple of places. Bog's been sort of static. We have a yellow flag. Why do we have a yellow? It's really, really hard to tell. Right, okay, let's jump back to the leaders. Sorry, it's we can't see what's going on back there. But Jack is putting his foot down out front of Wazza, not letting him go. But those two already starting to break away from TGL Stewart behind. I think it just shows the pace difference that they had. It was certainly evident in qualifying, and it seems that they've taken it through into the race as well. But Jack's going to come across the line 7/10 ahead of Wazza. Honey Badger into the pits and Bog into the pits as well. So it looks like they both picked up damage along with Johnny as well. So 3 into the pits early doors, not going to be good at all for their strategy. TGL Stewart holding on to 3rd place. As it stands at the moment, he would be closing down on the championship leaders with his main title protagonist Hummer in 5th and Hammers down in 7th. So we'll be gaining points off them as it stands, but still a long way to go. Obviously 38 laps. Honey Badger has now left the session. These two 1.7 seconds ahead of Stewart now, so it looks like they are, as I've said before, they really do have the pace on the guys behind, but we've also seen that it can quite easily and very quickly go wrong. Bog pick up a 3-second, has he got a 3-second penalty? Drive through, how do you get a drive through penalty? We haven't had a safety car. I don't get that at all, but it looks like Bog has picked up a drive-through penalty somehow. We'll have a look in a minute, see if we can figure out what that's for, but we just want to keep an eye on what's going on a little bit further back. So the Red Bulls are Poop Cannon and Hummer in 4th and 5th position. So Poop Cannon is not a regular teammate of Hummer, so I don't think there'll be any communication with regards to any team orders. So if Hummer wants to get past, he will need to do so on merit. Okay, so Bog serving that penalty down into 15th position now. So a bit of a torrid start for him, but as I say, a long way to go. Things can change very quickly. So Connor now starting to come under pressure. We have an overtake. Oh, it's in the pits. It's getting all excited then. Right, let's jump back. Where was I? Connor. Hammers, I think, made a small mistake there because he's now dropped 1.2 seconds back. Honey Badger asking for an invite. I'll have a quick look. I'm not sure if you have. Let's have a look if you have added me as a friend or not. That would be a no. So sorry, Honey Badger, I don't have you as a friend, so I can't actually invite you back. So let's jump back on with what's going on ahead. Let's say Wazza and Kazingle have broken 3.2 seconds ahead of Stewart now. We have a virtual safety car. Oh, Connor. What happened to Connor? So Connor must have unfortunately crashed in Anthony Nodge's sort of turn 18-19 onto the start-finish line. So not a great evening for him. In fact, not a great couple of days. I think he was racing the other day and got disconnected. And reading the Discord chat where he got disconnected and couldn't get back in. When he finally got back in, it retired his car. So not been the best of weeks for Connor. Okay, so the gaps have opened up. So Hammer's 2.4 seconds now behind Hummer. So I would wonder if these tyres can't be going off already, not on lap 6. I say everybody was on the mediums or the hards, so I can't see that they would have gone off just yet. Right, so we have a few gaps. I mean, the closest gaps we are going to have is Wazza and Jack or Kazingle at the front, separated by 1.1 seconds. Everybody else is pretty spread out. And Brother Adam putting pressure on the back. Apologies for the quiet just a moment, I'm just trying to sort something out. Right, it looks like we are having major connection problems. Looks like everybody has been disconnected. So I think we could potentially be looking at a restart of the race. But what I would do is I'll leave the stream going just for a moment. It looks like it's starting again, but I don't know. Is this a red flag? Yeah, it looks like it was a red flag. So we are go, go, go. So who was that involved? So it looks like Johnny may have been involved, Brother Adam involved. But this is madness. Oh, sugar. And we've got Stuart round, Waz around, Hammers up in. Oh, this is Stuart trying to oh, jeez, this is a complete mess. A little bit of contact. I think it may have been Wazza and Stuart making contact as they are coming up through Beau Rivage, and it looks like unfortunately Stuart getting spun round and then getting hit by just about everybody. So we are back under a safety car. So it looks like we had a red flag which we didn't see because I was trying to sort out a connection issue. And then on the restart of the restart after the red flag, we have a collision at Beau Rivage, so turn number 2. So I didn't get very far at all, and we're back under safety car conditions. So everybody was able to make a fresh change of tyres if they wanted to. It certainly does seem to be that perhaps the lobby's been messing about a bit tonight. So Johnny out, I think, got stuck behind a crashed car and then got disqualified for standing still for too long. It just honestly seems to be the same problems again and again with EA and F1. I know it's not their priority, that FIFA or EAFC is their main priority, but if you're going to do a game, at least do it properly and do it well. It does seem to be that they fix one problem but then cause 2 or 3 more, and the online racing community just doesn't seem to be anywhere near the top of their priorities. Right, so we're just waiting for everybody to gather up behind the safety car. I think there was an awful lot of damage there sustained on lap 1 with the pile up behind Wazza and Stewart, so it would be interesting. I'd like to watch back on Stewart's stream a bit later to find out exactly what happened there, but it did look like there was some contact between himself and Wazza. So whether it was hard racing, whether it was something else, we can only surmise, but at the end of the day it has punched Stewart pretty much in the gut and back into 10th position. So I know Honey Badger is desperately trying to get in at the moment. Thanks Connor for sorting out invites for him. Invoices? You can sort them out after the invites, I suppose. But yeah, I'm not very confident that he's going to be able to get back in though, because again with this game it seems to be you can't get in, and then when you do finally manage to get in, it's retired your car. So I think that will possibly happen this time out, but currently doing well under AI in 3rd position. And Hummer has leapfrogged his way up into 2nd position. Wazza currently down in 6th, Hammers down in 11th, and Bog down in 13th, so not a good day so far for the McLarens. Right, we're going to be at least another lap behind the safety car, because we have the Red Bull of Poop Cannon, who I think has also got caught up in the shenanigans and has dropped to the back of the grid with Bogorovsky, both on older hard tyres. Okay, so a quick look at the Constructors' Championship. As I say, not a good day for McLaren today, but they are leading the championship by 12 points from Alpine. Red Bull a lot further back. I mean, what are they, 52 points behind the lead in 3rd position, but it's a lot further back. I mean, it's only what, it's 43, 44 points available each race weekend. So I mean, a day like today, if Red Bull did manage to get Hummer, well, Poop Cannon's obviously much further back, but yeah, they could certainly close up with the way that the points are standing at the moment. Aston Martin in 3rd, the only other team to break the 100-point barrier so far, 115 points. So we've got Haas in 5th with 71 points. Ferrari in 6th on 54, joint 6, should I say, with Racing Bulls, Red Bull, whatever they're called this year. Sauber in 8th on 29 points, Mercedes in 13th, and Williams languishing at the back on 12 points. Okay, so are we going to restart this lap? We are indeed. Safety car is into the pits, so Jack will become the de facto pace car, and he has gone already. These front two have completely gone. Honey Badger, unfortunately, where he is in AI, seems to be causing some issues for the cars behind. You know, Composite and Skipper in the strikes up into 4th and 5th, so the Sauber's doing well. Wazza looking to make a move and get past as quick as he possibly can, though. Wants to get right back onto the back of Jack if he can. You can see he is a lot quicker, so he goes for a move up the inside. And Skipper giving him the space there. So Wazza up into 5th place. Will be driving like a man possessed now. I want to close in on Composite, so that's only, well, he's pretty much nearly there. We'll stick on board because I think Wazza is probably seeing red mist at the moment. I think there's going to be a difference of opinions. I think he'll probably blame Stewart. Stewart will blame him. But he is now back up into 4th position. So good move round to back there by Wazza, up into 4th place. He should now be able to close in on Honey Badger because Honey Badger is under AI. The rest of the field is pretty spaced out, although are we going to get a move here with Rika? So has Stewart all over the back of him, but Stewart just can't find a way through. Goes for a move on the outside, door slammed shut in his face there. So now heading down towards the chicane. Honey Badger now picking up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, which is absolutely extraordinary for an AI. So Stewart, is he going to look for a move? Wazza now picking up a 3-second time penalty. This is where he needs to keep his head, otherwise he's going to throw a good result away. Everybody behind not making any places, but you just can't. But Jack showing that pace that he had last night, now 2 seconds ahead of Hummer, and he's on the harder compound tyre as well. Honey Badger now coming under pressure from Wazza. So you just need to be patient. I know how you're feeling, but you just need to be patient. And you've just got 3 seconds to close down Hummer. But it does seem to be that Honey Badger's car is causing an absolute nightmare. I mean, it's not his fault, he's been disconnected. Obviously we'll need to keep an eye on his connection for future. We'll need to make sure it's improved and it doesn't happen that often. But we have people with stable connections like Connor where it's happening too, so do have to give the benefit of the doubt. So Wazza now up into 3rd place. We'll look at sprinting after Hummer and Kazingle, but with that 3-second time penalty, it is going to cause him a lot of grief. Who have we got further back? Stewart not having a good day. Stewart down into 12th position now with a nearly a 5-second gap. Okay, let's jump back up here. So Wazza 2 seconds behind Hummer, Hummer 2.3 behind race leader Kazingle. Honey Badger in AI still. It goes to show something. We've got, I think we have it set on 60% AI, and we've got an AI in 4th. But the Sauber's doing extraordinarily well, up in 5th and 6th position. We'll see if they can hold on to that till the end of the race. Also interesting, nobody has played their Joker today. We've still got quite a few people to play their Jokers and not a lot of races left to go. Obviously one of them being a sprint race, so that is going to be ineligible for a Joker. So this midfield here is quite tightly packed behind Rika. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. The Cats is making a move up the inside, unsettling Skipper there, and Cavolis taking advantage of that as well. I'm sure Hammers will be looking to have some of that as well, if possible, and make his move up into 10th position. But he has got Magic Poop Cannon all over the backside of him. TGL Stewart has closed up nearly a 4-second gap, so it just goes to show how much they are holding each other up. Bog having a bit of a lonely race at the back, but he will keep going, and I'm sure by the end of the race he'll be picking up some points. Right, let's get back to this battle. So Cavolis is going to now go after the Catsis. Hammers is going to want to get past Cavolis as quick as he can, getting that gap down to nearly, well, it's now under a second, so he will have DRS along the start finish line, but it's not a great deal of help here. All it does is close you up onto the back of the car as you're heading up through through Saint Devoir, up Beau Rivage into Massenet. It's there's just nowhere really to overtake other than up the inside of the hairpin, potentially the Nouvelle Chicane. Stewart still on the back of this group. Right, Wazza now has closed in onto the back of Hummer. So he's a darn sight faster. I mean, that was what, 3 seconds that he has closed in about 3 laps. Hummer dropping further behind Jack. So it looks like perhaps these two have been sweating it out a bit this week, because they do seem to be a lot quicker than everybody else. But fair play to them if they have. And Jack should have had a good finish last week. Where were we? Abu Dhabi last week. But unfortunately, him and Bogorovsky had a bit of collision in the final lap, the final turn of the final lap of a 100% race, and unfortunately making contact and losing a good few positions there. But Wazza, how is he going to make this move on Hummer? Hummer is not the easiest person to overtake on any track, let alone around Monaco. So all he's got to do is position his car, make it as wide as possible, and Wazza's going to have to either sit behind him or make a dive, basically. You need to be brave and force yourself into a gap, but there has to be a gap there for you to do it. You can't just force your way past a driver. We have seen it done before, and it will be dealt with accordingly, so please don't try it. So Wazza all over the back, but they're losing time hand over fist to Jack. Kazingo in first position now, 7 seconds behind. The gap's increased from I think about 5.8 at the beginning of the last lap, so over a second slower than the race leader. And I think that is the pace that Hummer is choking out of Wazza at the moment, but has every right to. On track you have position, as long as he keeps it clean and defends well. Wazza is going to find it really, really difficult to get past, and even if he does get past, he's got to pull out a 3-second lead. Due to that, and he makes a move up the inside. I think Hummer might have let him go there. I think he realised that he is the much quicker car, and yeah, I think he moved over and let Wazza through. So sensible driving there from Hummer, thinking of the championship. Not a huge amount of difference between finishing second and finishing third, but there is a difference between finishing and not finishing. So yeah, I certainly think looking at Honey Badger now coming into the pits, and this might be a good thing to let everybody else past, but there's a big gap. So even the AI getting front wing damage, look at that. So I never thought I'd see front wing damage and a 3-second time penalty. But the good news is Honey Badger is now at the back, and that's no offence to you, Honey Badger, but I know it's not you driving and it is the AI, and potentially it could cause problems. But the front three are 21 seconds clear of composite in 4th position. In fact, let's have a look at the get rid of the tyres for a minute, we'll get to the leader. Look at that, 32 seconds between 1st and 4th position. That's huge, especially considering we've had a red flag, we've had a safety car, and they still have a 33-second lead over the rest of the field now. Oh, I don't want a position change, I wanted the tyres. So are we actually, what we're going to do, how many stops has everybody had? Oh, poor old Magic Poop Cannon, 4 stops. Bog, 4 stops. Not been their weekend, but a bit further back, Hammers. Oh, Hammers. They're going into Mirabelle. Unfortunately, he's now holding up his teammate. It's been not been a good race for McLaren, put it that way. Currently 12th and 13th, but jump back. We've got a virtual safety car, so not a full safety car. And Wazza taking that moment to come into the pits. Did Jack pit as well, or did he carry on? Jack continued. Wazza was just in the pits, but he's got 10 lap old. Don't tell me he's put old mediums back on. So Bog, Skipper and Stuart all back into the pit. Stuart going for a new set of hards. He'll take those to the end. Skipper, new front wing, fresh set of mediums. He will take those to the end. Bog on 1 lap old mediums. He will take those to the end as well. I'm assuming he also had front wing damage. But we're back under racing anyway. But Wazza now 23.1, nearly 24 seconds behind Jack on the much quicker tyres, but they're not fresh. They're 10 laps old. Hummer is now the man to watch, 3.4 seconds behind. Cavoli's picking up a 3-second time penalty there. But let's see how Hummer can close in on Wazza now, because Wazza's tyres are going to start going off. We've still got 15 laps to the end of the race. 26 laps is an awful long way. So composite into the pits. Honey Badger's AI back up into 9th position. Katsis looking for a move on Magic there. Didn't quite make it stick. Magic making sure that the door was firmly closed. So nothing dangerous or unsporting, just moved across onto his line, closing that door. Just saying, no, not today, you're not going to come past me. In fact, sorry, that was Rika, not Magic Poop Cannon. Poop Cannon's behind, isn't he? But Poop Cannon has Cavolis all over his backside in the Racing Bull. Right, so who's going to win it from here? Oh, well, certainly not Poop Cannon. So the Cats is now into the pits. We'll put a fresh set of mediums on, so he'll take those through to the end. Poop Cannon finds himself back up into 7th place, but it would have been yo-yo well for a lot of drivers, other than probably the front two. That gap down to 22 seconds already at the front. You know, Wazza has carved in, what, 10 seconds? Jack must have made a mistake. Can't see that 12-lap-old mediums would be that much quicker than 16-lap-old hards. So Jack must have made a small mistake somewhere, but luckily he has a big enough lead. Of course, the major thing now could be if he has front wing damage. So we've got another yellow. Where do we have a yellow? Trying to see. Nobody. I can see spun on track, so let's continue. But yeah, Wazza now 21.5 seconds, and he is eking that gap out on Hummer. So Wazza showing good pace on those mediums. It could well be that the graphics wrong and they're not 13 laps when they were on. He may have gone on too fresh. Let's try and have a look at the state of the tyres. Very difficult around here because you don't get much light onto the surface of the tyre. So they don't look too bad, so he's certainly not losing too much on them. Getting there down to 19, getting towards 19.5 seconds. So you never know. And Jack, I don't think will have to pit on those hards, whereas Wazza will. Oh, well, I think he will anyway. Look at the chat, Con, what a mess. First, third, yeah, he was, I have to admit, very, very scrappy first, opening third to the race. Lots of incidents, accidents. Obviously, I don't think a disconnect helped, which unfortunately threw the car into AI and very slow within a group. I think that's part of the reason. But what I can say, Connor, is it's brought a little bit of excitement. Something apart from that, we haven't seen much going on other than Poop Cannon now making a move on the AA of Honey Badger. So we need the AWS forecast to catch us. It's a shame. Yeah, it's very true actually. Yeah, we could do with that popping up. But gap's gone up to 20 seconds again now, so I just wonder if Waz has maybe pushed those tyres a little bit too hard, considering he's got a long way to go on them as well. I wonder if he's just pushed them a little bit too hard. Jack out front, just pacing himself to take those to the end. So I think the forecast to catch him is probably not this race. But we'll see. I could be wrong. But the front two as it stands, Kazingle and Wazza have been totally dominant. Literally they were a cut above in qualifying, and literally they sprinted off in the race. So had it not been for I think the red flag bunching the field up, they would have been long gone. But yeah, certainly have had pace to burn compared to everybody else. But Hummer will be mildly happy with third place on the podium, considering where he was. He'll be looking at extending his championship lead now, with Stewart down in 8th position and Hammers in 10th, so he will extend his lead at the top. Bogowski in 4th in the championship as well, so currently 12th. But as I said, they will keep going and could pick up points towards the end of the race. I'm sure you do have your opinions, Connor. Yeah. I'll maybe we'll share them a bit later. But Honey Badger, so AI picking up another 3-second time penalty. Otis looking for a move on his teammate. Again, I don't think these two are talking because they're certainly not being overly friendly. It's one of those team orders that race but just don't take each other off. But I'll be very honest, there's no guarantees that that's going to happen. A Poop Cannon sitting just behind, ready to pick up any pieces. Stewart will be the next to come up onto the back of Honey Badger, so 4.5 seconds behind, but doesn't have any penalties. It's one thing that Wazza has to be careful of, that he has that 3-second penalty. Doesn't want to push it too hard and extend that to 6 seconds, because that really will put him under pressure from Hummer. So just needs to perhaps settle down, accept second place. But I'm not sure that Wazza will do that. I think he only knows one way to drive, and that is flat out. But that gap's staying static around about the 20-second mark now, so I think the tyres, Wazza's tyres are starting to certainly past their best, put it that way, and Jack's probably on the better tyres, but he doesn't need to push unless he has to. Cavolis and Rika still fighting away with Poop Cannon just behind. It's the closest battle that we have on track currently. Stewart just in the background there as well. So soon we'll come on to the back of these 4 drivers and make it a quintet. But whether he can make any moves is a different matter. Cavolis, I thought he was going to make a move on Rika there. Through the swimming pool section. So Rika really needs to make a move and get past his teammate if he can. So he's starting to come under pressure now, with Poop Cannon right on their back, with Honey Badger just a little bit further back, and TGL Stewart, I'm sure, still seeing the red mist and wanting to get past everybody in front as quick as he can. Okay, so Bog now onto the back of Skipper, so we're second behind, so out of the DRS range, unfortunately. Not going to be able to pull in as much as he would have hoped on here, but if he can keep going and pull that in at the end of the lap, he'll be within DRS range, but then needs to make that overtake. Hammer's down into 12th position. I think he's pitted again. How many pit stops has this man had today? 5 pit stops. Bog, 5 pit stops. Poop Cannon, 4 pit. My God, the McLaren boys have been busy today. So this trio carries on. Poop Cannon now closed right on to the back of Cavolis, wanting to make the move and unfortunately not making the right move, and spins and loses an end plate. Has he lost more than an end plate or just an end plate? So Poop Cannon drops down into 8th position, but that's how quickly this could change. You could be looking so good for you one lap, and then well, next thing you're getting disqualified for sitting behind a driver who's crashed. Oh, God knows what, but welcome to EA Sports F1. So Poop Cannon down into 8th position. Stewart recovering back to 7th place. I want to make their move on the AI controlled Honey Badger as quickly as possible so he can get on to Cavolis and Rika in the racing balls. And here we go. So Stuart making the move up the inside of Tabak. So before we get into the swimming pool section, Stuart picking up a 3-second time penalty there. Actually just clipping the wall as well, but I don't think he's got any damage, just a bit of rear tyre. Poop cannon's out, poop cannon's out. Where is poop cannon out? May have been in the pits. I do wonder if poop cannon's just had enough tonight. Not what we do at DTR. We don't really like retiring under any circumstances. We know it's frustrating, but the problem is that your car can pop back out onto track and cause absolute mayhem. But looks like it hasn't happened at this moment in time. Bog needs to get out and get going though, because he's got a gag of the cars behind him. What is going on here? Is Jack lapping them? Jesus, Jack. He is, he's lapping people. That's why they're getting blue flags, so having to get out of the way as they bloody can. But Jack, unbelievable pace. This will have lapped everybody up to 4th position. But what it has done is it's caused some uncertainty behind. I'm going to jump back here to get to it now. But it's caused some uncertainty behind, and Cavolis has lost out to Honey Badger and Stuart. Stuart now wanting to make the move on Rika, gets much better drive out of here, but there was no room up the inside. Rika made sure of that going into the chicane. Didn't get a good drive out of there. That's a good overtaking position normally for Stuart there. He gets good drive and goes around the outside. You can see he is much quicker, just cannot make a move. Looks for a move on the outside of Laras Cass there. Can't do it. Tucked in behind, coming onto the start finish line. We'll have DRS open now. So I think Stuart's going to go for a move. Is he going to go up the inside? He is indeed, into turn 1 and makes the move. He does, yeah. Makes the move, or completes the move. And now we've got 2 aside. So again, Red Bull Racing losing 2 positions. Exactly the same as Cavolis did about half a lap earlier. This time Stuart and Honey Badger making their way through. Bog retire for this. Oh, Bog. That's down by the Nouvelle chicane. So yeah, just here. So unfortunate for Bog there. Doesn't Bog doesn't retire from many races. I think it just goes to show how hard this is. I mean, Poop Cannon just put not a track for racing, and I completely agree with you. Monaco, I love everything about Monaco. You know, it's absolute fantastic event, but unfortunately with the cars these days, real life, it's not a place for racing, and unfortunately with the game as well following suit, and it's I be honest, I don't ever want to see Monaco on a calendar again. I don't think it's conducive for good racing. I know people do enjoy it, but we also have, as so many people have cried for Monaco to be back on, and if you look at the D1 attendance yesterday, if it wasn't for reserves, it would have been absolutely awful. So I think it's something that we'll steer clear of in the future. But saying that, we cannot take away the performance from Jack. And has Jack pitted? What's happened to Jack? Jack has lost 15 seconds to Wazza. No, Jack has pitted. He's got different bloody tyres on, Neil. Yeah, he's gone for the softs. So, has pitted and still come out nearly 6 seconds ahead of Wazza. They're looking to get the fastest lap as well. So potentially could get the hat-trick now from Jack. Obviously pole position. A 1:11 flat, so fastest lap of the race. And pretty much odds on to take the full points, because we are on the last lap of the race. That has gone pretty quickly, actually. So the opening 13-15 laps were a bit of a shit show, shall we say, and the remaining sort of 25-26 laps have pretty much been Monaco that we expect. But Kazingal nearly 8 seconds ahead of Wazza, obviously making that late pit stop, comes in and pumps in the fastest lap of the race. So as I say, looking at the hat-trick and potential 26 points today. So that will throw him right back into the championship fight. But Hummer keeping that third position, so he will extend his championship lead. Stewart recovering really well into 4th position. And there we go, Jack taking the win. So congratulations to him at Monaco, absolutely dominant. Wazza as well, massive amount of pace. Was unfortunate with the incident with Stewart, not sure what happened there, but we'll look forward to the chat in a minute. So Hammer coming home in 3rd, Stewart will recover for 4th. Already got Honey Badger finishing in 6th, Lakatsis in 7th, Rika in 8th, Hammers coming home in 9th for 2 points, or for 1 point, because he loses that now to Rika, obviously down to the penalties. So just 2 to finish. We've got Stewart and Kavolis. Stewart just heading into the swimming pool section now, and Kavolis coming out of the tunnel. So here we are, Stewart. After all that, mate, you still come home in 4th position. So it might have been an absolute nightmare for you, and I'm sure you're fuming, but you still bring home 4th position. So that is not bad. Kavolis will be the final finisher in P5. So that brings to an end the Monaco Grand Prix. So I'm sure there'll be lots to talk about in chat. There's a hell of a lot that I missed on the stream, which I apologise for, but I'm trying to flick through as much as I can. But there's Jack anyway, Kazingal taking the top place on the podium. Is that his first race win this season? Let's have a look at his. Yeah, he's had a couple of second places at Cota and Mexico, but then dropped off as he had a couple of weeks that he's missed as well. So that really will put him back into the championship standings. Had dropped down into 6th position, but many congratulations, Jack. So you and Wazza tonight had huge amounts of pace, deserving of the win. So Jack taking the win today, Wazza in 2nd, Hummer in 3rd, TGL Stewart in 4th, 5th goes to Kavolis, 6th to Skipper, 7th to Honey Badger, 8th to Lakatsis, 9th Rika, 10th Hammers, so bringing home 1 championship point. Then the DNFs of Bogorovsky, Magic Poot Cannon Composite, J5 Gaming, Brother Adam and Connor. So, a typical Monaco Grand Prix, shall we say. But brings to a close round number 8. We're one round closer towards the end of the season. We'll pop it up ever so quickly today. Obviously, Monaco. Next week, we are at Jeddah. So that'll be interesting. Another street circuit, but a lot quicker, a lot more chance for overtake. We'll then be looking at a 2-week break over the Christmas period. And then we'll be returning to Baku and then Miami and ending in Suzuka. So again, many congratulations to Jack, to Wazza, and to Hummer on the podium. I say Wazza and Kazingal just had a different pace today, but I don't think the race panned out as they wanted. But anyway, we will be back next week, next Wednesday, for Division 1, and I'll return next Thursday for Division 2, as I say, for Jeddah. We look forward to seeing you then. I hope you all have a lovely weekend. Stay safe, and I'll see you next.